Hello guys and girls, welcome back. Today we are back splitting these rounds that I brought home from the tree service, and I'm working on getting my exercise in. Now that round I just stood up is a hickory round, and in my last video, which was a review of the MS-180 chainsaw, I ripped some of those rounds in half just to take some weight out of them and try to get them to where they're manageable. And I found that the best I can do on these large hickory rounds is rip them in half or quarters like I did here, and then knock the middle out of the wood, just the very tip of that triangle. And then the outside layer, the whole outside of these rounds, like 3 inches or something, will not split. I would need a large log splitter. I don't know what would do it. I mean, a 17, 20 ton plus, 25 ton, 30 ton log splitter would do that probably, but I cannot get them to budge with a maul. And I mean, they aren't doing anything. It's like splitting a big block of hard rubber or something. It's not even, the maul is hardly even penetrating into the wood. It's just bouncing off. So I'm pretty much done messing with them. I just, like I said, I knocked them down into quarters and then knocked the center out of them. And that outside, I don't know if it's like the cambium and the next layer around the outside of the tree, it will not split. So I'm just going to take those big chunks and let them dry for a year and a half. And I mean, I won't burn them this winter, I don't think. Most likely it'll be not this winter but next winter, so they will have a solid year and a half of drying, and they'll just be some, all-nighters or good strong chunks of wood to throw in on your fire and have a nice long hot burn on a cold winter night. So there's nothing wrong with that, and as long as they can fit in the fire, they will burn. So that's the deal with these things, and I'm just done wrestling with them. I mean, I can't get them to go with a maul, and I'm not going to keep burning my chainsaw chains up and everything. They're small enough to fit in the fireplace, so that's good enough for me. Anyways, onward we go, and the splitting continues. Jeez. I'm going to end up with quite a few cookies or offcuts, whatever you'd like to call them, while I'm splitting all this wood. So I just kind of decided to break them up a little bit to get them to dry and get them into more manageable pieces. And I will throw those in my fireplace and burn them myself. Well, maybe that'll help it dry. I am sick of getting stuck in this stuff though. It's hurting my hands and it's just awkward trying to pull the maul out of it all the time, and it's just not fun splitting. Kind of takes the fun out of it. So I won't be messing with that anymore. I won't be bringing any more of that home if I can avoid it at any cost. I would love to have a lot of hickory, but it's just too difficult to deal with. I'm not going to be purchasing a log splitter anytime soon. I mean, I think you can get them kind of affordable around town. I mean, you could spend $1,500 to $2,000 and get, like I said, a 20 to 30 ton log splitter. But I'd have to roll it down the hill around my house, and I have a fence, and it would have to fit through the gate, and then I'd have to store it outside. I just don't really see myself doing that. And plus, like I said, I'm doing this for exercise. So follow along, and I'll let y'all know later this year how much weight I've lost and what the results are. But having a log splitter just really takes all the exercise out of it. I mean, all you have to do is stand there and push a button or pull a lever or whatever. There's a little bit of lifting. I mean, you're going to sweat being in the sun and stuff. But for the most part, you just throw the log on a table and pull a lever, and that really takes a lot of the fitness aspect out of it. So that's why I'm doing this. So I'm just going to keep it up and avoid the hickory and anything else I see that I don't like. Well, as I keep mentioning, I'm waiting on this mulch from the tree service, and I got the pallets all laid out, and I'm just throwing the wood on it, and the pile is getting pretty large already, and I don't want to have to keep rehandling this wood. I wish I would hear from those guys and they would tell me when they think they would be out here or whatever. I don't want to bug them because they don't like it when you're picky, and they don't want to be bothered all the time, I'm sure. But I would like to know when they're going to be here, because I wanted to put mulch down under all of that and then put the pallets down, and it's just not happening. So every time I go throw wood on these pallets, I'm like, I'm going to have to move all of this again. I'm going to have to stack it all. For the purpose of this video, I have to stack it and measure to see how close it is to 1/3 of a cord or a rick or whatever. And then I'm going to have to tear it all down, put mulch down, then restack it again. Anyways, you can see where I'm going with this. I don't want to keep handling this wood, but for the purposes of YouTube and making a scientifically correct video, I need to measure this stuff and stack it, and I also want to get my mulch down. So it's just going to be, with this 1/3 of a cord, I'm going to be moving it all around, and I'm waiting on the mulch, so I'll just have to be patient, and I may have to call those guys and see what they're thinking and try to touch base with them again and let them know I'm hot and heavy about wanting mulch whenever they can get it here, and hopefully I can save them some money on their dumping fees and everything. But I am ready anytime, and I am anxious to hear from them. So we'll just see what happens. I'll give them a few more days before I bother them again. And also, I just want to mention that I'm going to try to use this mulch to kill those weeds. I don't really want to keep spraying Roundup and everything, but you can see just how much clover and all kinds of broadleaf weeds and stuff are on that back hill. I'm hoping that if I just put this mulch down real thick on top of it, that it'll just choke it all out and kill it, because I think it's like an 11 cubic yard mulch truck. I mean, it's a big square box truck that's going to be full of wood chips, so that should be a lot of mulch. And if I put that stuff on really thick and heavy, I mean, it might be somewhere between 8 inches to a foot thick back there. It should just kind of cover up all of those weeds and block them out of the sun and everything, and just kind of crowd them out, is what I'm hoping. Now I may take the weed eater and go over it and just kind of try to buzz it all down real close to the ground and then put mulch on it. It's just going to be a messy, dirty day. There's some poison ivy back there, and I do not like poison ivy. I'm allergic to it, so I'll have to put, long sleeves and pants on and everything, and gloves, and use the weed eater. So I'm not really looking forward to that, but I may do that just to try to help it. But that's kind of where I'm going with this. I want to help it control these weeds, get them under control in my front yard too, get all my flowers and everything mulched, and I just think my house will look a lot better. I'll really like having that mulch to walk on. And I can also probably split wood right on the mulch, and like I said, then all of these scraps and everything will just blend right in with all the wood chips. I know this is kind of a boring part of the video, but I'm looking at the wood. There's a little bit of ant damage inside that wood, and I'm just trying to decide if I wanted to stack it or throw it away. But I don't really see any of them moving around anymore, so it's probably going to be okay. And once I get all this stuff stacked and everything, and also the wood chips down, I will probably put some termiticide, fipronil back there. And that takes care of everything. I mean, if you just pour a 5-gallon bucket across the back of my backyard, anything that's stirring in that wood will be gone. So I just went ahead and stacked it. I didn't see anything moving around, and the fipronil will take care of the rest. This little bugger was trying to be nasty with me, but, I got it split. I was just swinging real light, and I hate it when that happens, when you just baby something and it resists. think it likes it this way. So to clean this all up, I just use my leaf blower and blow all this sawdust back where there's going to be wood chips anyways. And I've just decided that this area of my lawn is going to be the sacrificial wood splitting area. And whenever I want to, I can just throw some seed out and grow the grass back when I'm not splitting wood anymore. And the final part of this video here, we have an exciting development on the transplanted maple trees. Look at this new growth that it's shooting out. So I think this one is going to make it. All of those spots on the leaves, maybe that's just leaf scorch from when it was out in the direct sun and it was getting burned a little bit. But hopefully those leaves will drop off, and next year the new growth will be nice and healthy and vibrant looking and pretty. But that's really neat. We got some new growth coming in. That one's going to make it.